Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be explaining a very simple entry model, the ICT 2022 entry model. I'm going to break it down into clear and simple rules so you can use even as a beginner trader for profitable setups. Now, the ICT 2022 entry model comprises of two things. The first is a market shift and displacement. Now, we have to understand what a market shift is. What is a market shift? So a market structure shift is, as the name implies, is when markets shift from bullish to bearish or from bearish to bullish. So imagine price is bullish, rallying higher. Now the shift from bullish to bearish is what we call a market shift. And the market is rallying lower. A shift from bearish to bullish is what we call a market shift. A market shift comprises of run on liquidity or reversal and then break of structure. These two things confirm market shift. All right, let's look at this diagram here. Now you can see price is bullish here. It created a swing and a retraced, creating a higher high and a higher low. And then it rallied. Okay, so at this point, we can see that this high here has been taken. Price took out liquidity, which is step one. And then the range that took this liquidity, we can see how price broke through it. So we call it structure break. When we see these two things, a market shift is confirmed. Now, the next thing we want to see is displacement. Now, what is displacement? It's a quick price movement evident by a fair value gap. So we don't only want to see a run on liquidity and break of structure, but we also want to see a fair value gap as price breaks structure. Now, the reverse is the same for a bearish market. Let's assume price was coming from this direction, and then we see price around this liquidity. Now, the swing that took this sell side liquidity, if price should break through that swing, which we call the break of structure, we have what? A market shift. But that's not all. You will remember that this entry model comprises of two things, which is market shift plus displacement. And I explained earlier that displacement is the quick move in price evidenced by the creation of a fair value gap. So once there's a market shift, 1, 2, we want to see displacement evidenced by fair value gap within the range of the swing that breaks the structure. It is that fair value gap we're finding our entry. All right, let's look at an example here. Now, basic understanding of market structure. If price should create a range from this low to this high and then retrace, creating a higher high and a higher low, we will expect that the trend should continue because we can see that this high was taken, and as price retraced, this low was not taken. Okay, now price created another range again from this low to this high. The liquidity above this high here was taken, but this low was preserved. Now we see price creating another range from this low to this high, which is a higher low and a higher high. And as this range was created, the buy side liquidity was taken, but something different happened here. We can see that this low was broken. So a market shift has been confirmed, run on liquidity and break of structure. But now we just don't want to see this happen. We want to see displacement as price displaces to break structure, and the fair value gap is likened to displacement. Displacement is a quick move in price evident by fair value gap. So we can see fair value gaps here. Now, it's this fair value gaps we'll be finding our entry. All right. It's very simple, guys. Now, let's go straight to the rules. Now, in order to have an organized trade system, I like to break my rules into conditions, entries, stop, and take profits to make things organized and objective. So for the conditions, you want to see a clear market shift with displacement, which I already explained. And this must happen in a Q zone. It could either be a New York Q zone, a London Q zone, or an Asian Q zone. And very importantly, it has to be located at the point of interest. What do I mean? You don't just go to your chart to look for market shift with a fair value gap for entries, or else you just be trading chart patterns. What you want to do is you want to understand price movement. You want to start from a higher time frame, identifying institutional levels like order block, breaker blocks, or old lows, old highs. So assuming there's an old high here, as price takes this liquidity, we want to go down to a smaller time frame and then look for this, with the expectation that price will run lower as it takes this buy side liquidity. I hope that's clear. And then for our entry, you want to be entering at the low of the fair value gap. Now, this is a sell trade. You can as well use this in the reverse for a buy trade. So the fair value gap, you want to be using the low. So we have two fair value gaps here. You can either use the low of this fair value gap for entry, or you could use the low for this fair value gap. It's best to use the closest fair value gaps. But if you have more than 3 fair value gaps, you want to use fair value gap at a discount. So you want to draw out your fib from this point to this point, and then identify the fair value gap at a premium for a sell trade. And if it's a buy trade, you want to draw out your fib from the high to the low and identify the fair value gap at a discount. You buy at discount and sell at premium. It's cheap at discount, expensive at premium. And why is this rule significant? If you go to your chart, you'll discover that there are some market shift that leaves multiple fair value gaps. You don't want to be in a situation where you have to think of the fair value gaps to use. And if a fair value gap is far away from your stop loss, it increases your risk against your reward. So once it's more than 3 fair value gaps, you want to use the fair value gap at a premium for a sell and at a discount for a buy. So where do you place your stop? You place your stop at the swing high around the liquidity. So this was a swing high that took a liquidity. So you place your stop here. And if it is a buy trade, you want to place your stop below the swing that ran liquidity. So we are expecting that this is where liquidity is. So if price runs this liquidity, the swing low that was formed, you place your stop below the low. And you want to have a maximum number of pips to use, because there are times that price will create a market shift with displacement and keep going lower, leaving fair value gaps probably 2. You don't want to start waiting for price to go to this point while your stop is here, because there's a high chance that price might invert this fair value gap. Because for price to run that far after creating this range, for price to keep going higher that far to that fair value gap, the chances are high that price might fall. Secondly, price could also do something like this, take the liquidity and then run lower with a fair value gap here. So you don't want to be entering here to sell, because you can see how far it is. Price might just do something like this, fill this fair value gap, and then take the liquidity below this low, and then run higher to invert this fair value gap. And before you realize it, you're in a losing trade. So you also want to have a maximum number of pips. This is to guide you to know what trades to avoid and what trades to take. So it's all about objectivity. You don't want to be thinking in the market. You want to do all the thinking outside the market. And the last is take profit. You want to be using a target of 3 hours. That is 3 times your risks. So if you are risking 1%, you want to be aiming for 3%. Very simple. All right, let's look at the trade example. So here's the BTC USD. This entry model works on all markets. It works in Forex, commodities, stocks, and cryptocurrencies. So we can see here, this is a daily time frame. Now, you can see how price ran higher, took the buy side liquidity and changed. So there was a change from bullish to bearish. So this is a market shift, although we can't see it in this time frame. So what we can do is go down to 4-hour time frame. All right. So remember, this is the buy side liquidity above price. You can see how price ran higher and then shifted. Now, this swing took what? The liquidity. Where did this swing start from? Here. You can see this is 3 candle pattern. This is 1, 2, 3. This candle at the middle is lower than the candle by the left and right. So here is a swing low. So the swing started from here, took liquidity. Now, when this low is broken, we consider it a market shift, and we can see that happening here. You can see how price ran lower and then broke this low. We call this a structure break. So this is break structure. Here we have a confirmed market structure shift. So you can see how price began running lower. Okay, so how can we use this for a trade setup? Now you see, as price shifted from bullish to bearish, it left what? A breaker block. So here is a breaker block. And if you don't know what the breaker block is, I'll leave a link in the description of this video so you could go watch where I explained breaker blocks. So you can see here the breaker block from the low to the close of this candle. Actually, the most sensitive part of the breaker block is from the wick to the candle's close. So for this bearish candle is a quick low to the close of this candle. So you can see how price reacted and then fell lower. So we just name it a breaker block. This is a bearish breaker. Now we will go down to an intermediate time frame. Now this is our higher time frame. We are seeing a breaker block, so we're expecting price to run lower. So go down to an intermediate time frame to look for other confluences, and that will be our 15-minute time frame. So here is our breaker block. You can see how price ran liquidity here. Here we can see a run on liquidity. You can see happening we're in the London Q zone. So we'll go down to our 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, 3 minutes is a very good entry time frame for us. Oh, now I want us to consider something that happened here. Here's our breaker block. I think I should change this color to blue. Blue suits better. Okay. Okay. So here is our point of interest. Now you see that there was a market shift that happened here. Price took the liquidity above this high and then broke the structure, this low here, leaving favor the gap. But you will notice that this was happening where outside the ICT zone. So you can see it's happening outside the ICT zone. You want to find an entry in the Q zone. So you can see how price rallied higher, took liquidity here, and broke lower. Now, what was the run that took this liquidity? It started here. This was the range. You can see the straight candle pattern. There's a swing low. It took this high and then broke structure. This here is a confirmed market shift. But we can also see displacement evident by fair value gaps. So you can see here is a fair value gap. Here's a fair value gap. So you want to enter with the low since we are selling. So we enter with this low. So here will be our entry. All right, so if we should measure from here, let's see, let's use our shots. Remember, our target is 3R. You can see that we have liquidity here, resting below this low. So if you aim for this low, you'll be having, look at it here. So it's 3R. Although price kept going lower and lower, so you're just aiming for 3R. So you could leave 20% to run while you've taken 80% of your profits. So let's look at another example briefly. So here's our first example. Now we'll go to a second example. I think I should click on. So here we can see another block. This is a bearish 4-hour order block. And then if you take this range high to this range low, you will see that we are at a what? Premium. We want to sell at a premium. So let's go down to our 15-minute time frame. I think I should take this out so it doesn't affect. So here's our 4-hour order block. And then we can see that price is taking liquidity. So here, price took the liquidity. The 15-minute time frame, you can see around liquidity happening when the New York Q zone as price finds resistance at this 4-hour bearish order block. So we're going to the 5-minute time frame. Now you can see this run here. This was the run that took liquidity. Now I would like to draw your attention to something here. You can see there was also a shift. Remember, these are 4-hour bearish order block. See how price ran this high and broke lower. So we have a market structure shift here. And there's a fair value gap. But we wouldn't want to use this because it's outside the ICT Q zone. But here you can see it within the ICT Q zone. This is the New York Q zone and London close. So you can see how price rallied higher. When we see this, we want to mark the low that took liquidity. So here's the low that took liquidity. And then you can see how price broke this low. So this is a break of structure. Here we have a confirmed market shift. But for us to use this as an entry model, we want to see price displacement evident by a fair value gap. So you can see here, there's a fair value gap. I'll just outline. So you want to use the low of this fair value gap. Since it's a sell trade, if it's a buy, you want to use the high, just so that you don't miss trades. Okay. So if we So if we use our tool, we'll see that we'll be getting, so we have sell side liquidity here. We're looking for 3 hours. So we also have sell side liquidity here. I think we've gotten 3 hours already. So although price still kept going lower and lower, so you could just take 80% and leave 20% of the main trades to run. Now let's go and see the last example here. I don't want this video to get too long. Now we have another example here. We have fair value gap because we don't know how far or how much price we. When I see fair value gaps in the higher time frame with this much range, I want to combine it with another PDRA to be able to precisely tell where to take my trade from. So you can see here we have an old low, and you can see our price found resistance at this old low. So let's go down to a 15-minute time frame. Okay, we can see how price is taking what buy side liquidity. So remember, these are old low, and here is an area of inefficiency as the fair value gaps. So you can see how price was running liquidity here in the 15-minute time frame. So I think I should take this to, all right. So let's go down to 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whichever. We'll go down to the 5 minutes. What are we seeing? So you can see our price ran liquidity and then broke structure. And then we can see multiple fair value gaps here. So remember in the rule, I said if we have more than 3 fair value gaps, you want to use what? The one at the premium. So if you draw from here to here, you can see price did not get to this point. The second thing is we are outside the Q zone, so we wouldn't want to use this. But if you take this swing from here to here, you can see how price took this buy side liquidity. This was a run that took this buy side liquidity, and then price ran lower to break what? This low. So we're seeing a break of structure. As price returns, we have multiple fair value gaps, so we want to also still use the one at a premium since we are selling. So we can use any of these fair value gaps. So let's assume we're using this one here. So we can see that it's not perfect. We just want to follow our rules. So if you have clear and simple rules, it helps you to be objective when taking trades. So if we sell here, let's use our sell to short position. Well, we are selling at the low of the fair value gap. So this is where our stop will be. Now, another thing again we could consider is how much range in stop does the rule allow? So now this is Bitcoin, which is different from the Forex market. You can see we are having a stop of 636, which is quite a lot and already a signal that you shouldn't take this trade. But even if you do it, I would have gotten a good trade here. You can see our price kept going lower and lower and lower. Okay. All right. I hope this was helpful. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. And as always, I wish you all good luck and good trading.